Let's technically analyze USDZAR based on price action. And what we'll do is analyze this particular chart from the monthly chart and all the way to about the H4 chart. And in regards to this monthly chart, we can see that at this point in time, the market has created what seems to be a triangle there. And this tells us that a breakout is imminent, as we're either going to see, a breakout to the bottom side or to the upside, right? But at this point in time, based on the price action, we can't really tell as to where the market will go. So let's head down to the weekly chart. And again, just to recap, on the monthly chart, we said that the market has given us this channel and that we're either going to see a breakout to the bottom side or even the upside. But in as far as price action goes, we can see also that we seem to have a block there, and we don't really have any proper price action movements, and it's pretty much choppy at this point in time. And let's head down to the daily chart. And on the daily chart, I'm just gonna add my triangle. Just bear with me. Let's have a look. Triangle. I would add it more or less in this manner. So there we go. And I'm gonna add the top part as well. There we go. Right, there goes our triangle more or less. And just remember that we just need to make sure that whatever drawings that we do add to our charts are as close to perfection as possible. And as I said, guys, we're either going to see a breakout to the bottom side or the upside, right? But now that we are here on the daily chart, let's just zoom in and see what's happening. And in regards to this area over here, right, we can see that the market had given us this double formation or double bottom, which had a neckline there, right? And we saw price breaking to the upside of that neckline and then coming back to the neckline to give it a test. And again, we can see that unfortunately the neckline at this point was not able to hold price, where we saw the market actually move further down, making this W structure no longer relevant at this point in time. To add to this, the market also gave us this pattern over here, which is an inverted head and shoulders pattern, which also has a neckline there. And as I always say, guys, when we have these patterns such as this particular inverted head and shoulders pattern, right, we want to see price again closing above the neckline, come back to the neckline to give it a test, and where we have that neckline is where we would look for potential buy opportunities, especially, as I always say, if that neckline aligns with any key numbers that we have in regards to the Fibonacci retracement tool, right? And that's more or less what happened here, where we saw price breaking to the upside, coming down to the neckline to give it a test. And at this point in time, we can see that we are getting some resistance at that level, and it is also quite possible that we may potentially see the market at that point actually start to move up, right? And in fact, I'm just going to add a neckline for that inverted head and shoulders pattern, just for illustration purposes. So there goes our neckline more or less. Another thing that I also want to bring to your attention is that as much as the market, had given us this particular structure, which is an inverted head and shoulders pattern, it had also given us the structure over here, which is a double top, which similarly has a neckline at that level. And again, just like with inverted head and shoulders patterns, when we have these structures, if you can just draw it properly, when we have double tops, we want to see price again closing to the bottom side of the neckline and then head up to the neckline to test it. And at that level is where ideally we would look for potential sell opportunities, especially, as I always say, if that area aligns with any key numbers on the Fibonacci retracement tool. So what we want to see happen next is price heading up to this level to give it a test, and if it does so, at that level is where I would look for potential sell opportunities. Also keep in mind that we have this channel over here, or rather this triangle, and we said that we're going to see a breakout either to the bottom side or the upside, right? Let me just actually add a neckline again for that double top. Just bear with me, guys. Let's see. And there goes more or less our neckline. There we go. And actually price bouncing off of this area and pushing further up aligns with how we had this pattern, right? Remember, which has a neckline there, and we said we want to see price come back to that level, and at this point is where we may potentially look for buy opportunities, right? So we may potentially see the market actually move all the way to that point, right? Having said that, right, I also want to mention that because this particular double top started more or less here, ideally we want to see the market actually push further down to around that level to close pretty much in line with where it had started, right? So that's also a possibility. So based on what I've said so far, we can tell that USDZAR at this point is a bit tricky, and finding entries will also be tricky, right? Anyway, from here let's head down to the H4 chart. I'm just gonna adjust my channels somewhat. There we go, right? And again, guys, just to recap, let me just actually zoom in a bit. Just to recap, remember on the daily chart we spoke about how just bear with me. On the daily chart we spoke about how the market had given us here an inverted head and shoulders pattern, which has a neckline there. We said we want to see price come back to that level, and at this level is where we may potentially look for buy opportunities. To add to that, we also spoke about how the market just bear with me, how the market had given us this double top over here, which has a neckline there, and that we may potentially see the market come back to the neckline to give it a test, and at that point where the neckline is where we may potentially see the market move further down, right? Anyway, from here what I'm going to do is just add my H4 channel as well, so just bear with me. Let's see, H4 channel. There we go. And we can see that in regards to the H4 chart, for the most part, we should be looking for sell opportunities, and that is because we are in a downward trending market, as you guys can see over here, right? Having said that, right, remember the market at this point in time is at a very strong level of support, which is also the neckline of that inverted head and shoulders pattern that we spoke about over here. Remember that, guys. But now that we're here on the H4 chart, what else do we see? On the H4 chart, we can also see that the market may potentially give us another inverted head and shoulders pattern, which may have a neckline there, right? However, in order for us to regard this potential structure as valid, we need to see at least a bullish candlestick forming there, and again we may potentially see the market move further up, right? But so far, in as far as buy or sell opportunities go for that matter, at this point in time I don't see any. But remember what I said, that because the market had given us this pattern, we may still see the market actually move further down and to around this level over here, which is where it started, right? It started here, went up, gave us a double top, broke the neckline here, and then pushed further down, right? And as I said, price is at a very strong level of support, and also the neckline of that inverted head and shoulders pattern, and we may potentially see at this level the market head up to that level to test the neckline of that double top, as well as this channel over here, and at this point is where again we may potentially see the market actually move further down, right? But just in closing, remember that in regards to the bigger time frames, we have the triangle, right, and price is in between, and what we're waiting for is a breakout of sorts, right?